All set. All
Yes,
right.
yes, yes.
Good afternoon, evening, morning, based on which part of the world you're watching us from. We appreciate you for joining. It's a beautiful Friday, and we just want to say, I nearly said happy weekend. I mean, but it's Friday, so we thank God it's Friday. It's our usual Certified Africa Fridays, and we're here to discuss, few things that we believe is important for people to at least know. Some are a little humorous, so yes, but
Yeah.
overall, I think they're important for you to have at the back of your fingertips.
The do's and don'ts of relocating and moving to Ghana.
Yes, the do's and don'ts of living in Ghana, if you like, of living in Ghana, or relocating, whichever one. But this is in Ghana. Once you're in Ghana, these are some things that you should do and some things that you should not do. Trust me, there are so many things, but we'll just touch on a few things that when you're in Ghana, it's important to, either do or not.
These can even be helpful if you're planning an upcoming trip and you want to travel and you're not sure what the culture is like. It can also help you in that regard as well. So stay tuned.
Yes. Now, Ghana is a very beautiful place and a culturally rich country, just like a lot of African countries. Okay, but it's a like I say, it's a culturally rich country, and therefore there are some values that Ghanaians kind of hold very dear to their heart. Okay, and some of them they're things that have come to be. They're not culturally connected, but they are things that Ghanaians have come to, just buy into. And some of the things that we'll talk about have nothing to do with culture. They're just things that, let me say, some bad guys have done, and therefore you have to just be aware of those things when you're dealing with people in Ghana. Yes, so it's very important. So if you have any thoughts of being in Ghana or living in Ghana or picking any movements in Ghana, you want to watch out for some of these things. I'm sure you're wondering what I did. We'll talk about that in no time. But we just trust that you're all doing great and keeping up and still building whatever it is that you're building. Okay, we always say, hey, we are move makers. No, we are all move makers. You and I, we're move makers. So let's keep making our moves. All right, we have some more people joining. We appreciate you all. Today we're talking about, we've pinned the title down so you can see do's and don'ts for living in Ghana, as you can see. Yeah. So now let's dive into some of them and so we can be able to have time and digest them. So let's look at some do's of living in Ghana. Okay, so we're in Ghana. These are some of the things that you just watch out for or you try your best to do. Now, the first one is making local friends. Yes, making local friends. This is something that if you're intending to live in Ghana, you have to consider, because the reason why we put this here is that a lot of people come to the continent and they are looking for people who are just like them. In other words, people who have come from the outside. So they don't like to do a lot of merging with locals or people or natives of the country. Okay, I mean, if locals is not a bad word. When you go to the Caribbean, the people who are from there, they are locals. There's nothing wrong with that. Even same in America, in the UK, everywhere. Okay, so just so you know that locals is not a bad connotation. Okay, but it's important for you to make friends with locals, because here's the thing. Now, they know a lot of ins and outs that you may not know. They know a lot of ins and outs. So the people that you take for granted, the very people you take for granted, now this person has nothing to offer. No, don't deceive yourself. You're going to need those people at some point. So you have to make sure that the relationship between you and the natives are very close. And I've seen a lot of people, I've heard people who complain about Ghana, that, oh, the people are not friendly, the people are that, the people are that. And I've heard some other people, and if you go into to find out, these people, the circles that they only merge with, that they only interact with, are people who are also coming from the diaspora. And they don't get to encounter actual natives of the country, of Ghana.
I think that can be like one of the biggest mistakes that people make.
Sure.
When you don't, when you're not connecting with the native people that live there, you're basically isolating yourself. You want to be able, if you're moving from, the US or somewhere else in the diaspora, you're going to want to get into the culture, and the best person that can help you to do that, someone who has lived there, who has grown up with the culture, who understands the nuances. And so that should be one of the first things that you should do. Find out who knows somebody that's Ghanaian that you can connect with when you get on ground. Very key.
I'm telling you, we come in handy. I'm Ghanaian. We come in handy.
Even I knew that.
We come in handy.
I kept you around. I didn't know anybody.
Really?
So my first time in Ghana.
Come on, putting me out there.
My first time in Ghana, I was going to be spending 3 months, and I didn't know anybody there. I had asked for some introductions before, but a lot of those actually didn't pan out. And so I met Nee during the study abroad program, and when that was over,
but talk about
there was still like 2 more.
Where did you meet Nee? Be clear.
So I mean,
okay, but that's fine. Just go ahead.
By the way. But anyway, I met him in an official capacity. That's what he wants me, to share.
So it's not illegal. It's not a legal meeting. Okay.
He was one of the assistants to my study abroad program. So after that program was over, I still had about 2.5 months left in Ghana, and so we exchanged contact and we kept in contact. And I was like, well, I don't know anyone here. It's definitely going to be a good idea for me to keep in contact with him.
I remember talking about knowing natives. Of course, I was a native at the time, a proud one at that. Now, I remember when she was moving from where she was before, when we're having the program officially, to where she's now going to be for the rest of her stay. I remember the person who was supposed to come and pick her, which is some of the things that we'll talk about in terms of Ghanaians. The person who was supposed to come and pick her with the car began giving a whole bunch of excuses and delays and all of that. And I remember she called me. She might not remember. It's been years. She called me and was telling me that, look, I've been waiting for this guy and he's not showing up. So I was like, look, send me his number, because she was she was going crazy. But I understood that, look, when you're dealing with Ghanaians, again, with timing and all of that, it's a whole different ballgame.
Time.
Exactly. So knowing Ghanaians, or knowing an active Ghanaian, trust me, comes in handy. And of course, I was able to resolve that situation. And the guy came to pick her up. I met the guy, went to where she was actually going to live, and sorted everything out. It wasn't my job at the time, but, she knowing me was an advantage at the time for her. So that's why you want to be very strategic in your dealings with actual natives of Ghana. It's very important. There's nothing wrong with hanging around diasporans and all of that. But trust me, find some native that you be very genuinely close to. Yeah. Because there'll be a time where you actually need them. Okay. And there'll be times that you may also be a blessing to them. So it's vice versa. It doesn't mean you're taking advantage of anybody. No, it's just building relationships. Okay. And of course, I wasn't the only native Ghanaian she knew. So just so you know, she knew some other ones that were very super helpful and a blessing to her in different diverse ways. So yes. Now, the other thing that you should do, which I think is also important, is these are some of the basic things. A lot of people talk about it, but you should, at least I believe you should also know. Now, when you're dealing with Ghanaians, or maybe Africans in general, and you encounter a Ghanaian, don't try to go straight to the point, to what you're going to talk about. It's very awkward to us. And it makes us feel like, okay, maybe we've done something wrong. It doesn't clear our conscience. With a Ghanaian, when you meet a Ghanaian, you're going to have an interaction. They expect you to have some preliminary chat. Like going to a lot of different things that has nothing to do with why you're actually meeting them or what you're actually going to talk about. It's nice and we enjoy that. So it's something you want to do because it makes us feel very relaxed and comfortable around you. When you meet us, hey, what's up? How you doing? What's going on? Hey, and then you can raise some other issues that has totally nothing to do with what you're actually there for. But we enjoy that. When you meet a Ghanaian and you just start going straight, okay, so here's a thing that we're dealing with. No, we don't like that. No matter the situation, whether it's formal or informal, it doesn't matter.
Does it make it seem like, you're just like kind of using that person if you come off with getting straight to the point?
Yes, it appears that way. that you just want what you want, and that's it.
You don't have to care about anybody.
Exactly. You just want to find out, hey, how you doing? How was that? Just show some care. We enjoy that. We like that. So it's something you want to do. and it will come in handy. It doesn't matter which environment you find yourself.
I would say also, one thing that I've also learned from you culturally is, you don't always call somebody just when you need something. You should make sure that you keep in contact with people and don't only call when you need a favor.
Okay, yeah, I mean that's true. That's a good one. We're able to fish that out very quick. That this guy or this lady, she only reached out when she needed something, when she needed some help. Okay, we take note of such things. So be careful when you're in Ghana, and you only want to reach out to people when you need them. But then, of course, once you don't need anything at the time, you don't
never
reach
check
out to
on them.
It still comes back to that
care,
pleasantries, and showing care to people, and genuinely asking how things are with them, even before you make known of anything that you actually want. So please take note of that. It's very, very important. It's a do that you must do. Now, also, there's one thing which is quite funny, and I've had personal experiences a lot. Now, Ghanaians generally were critical with greetings. Okay, greetings. I know here in America, when of course when we're walking on the park and meet somebody will ask you, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing?" People do that a lot. Now, Ghanaians like greeting as well, but we're not there. We're not quick to in fact ask people how they are. We're not quick to do that. We're very laid back when it comes to that. However, we don't take for granted people who come to meet us and they don't say hello, or they don't actually greet us. We don't take it kindly at all. And the reason is that usually a lot of us get caught up in the sense that you're coming to look for somebody close by, or you're passing by, you're going to look for somebody close by, and you ignore me, you don't say hello, you don't greet me. I take it very personally. Then you go, whoever you're looking for, you don't find the person.
So now you have to come
then
back.
You come back and then ask me. Don't try that with a Ghanaian auntie or something. Don't ever try that.
Man, yes.
If you pass by them, you don't say hello to them, you don't greet them. And then you come back to find out whatever it is from them, you are in a big trouble. Trust me, you are in a very big trouble. So you want to be very careful and vigilant that at all times you make sure, because don't forget, Ghana, we have this, not necessarily everyone. Ghana is more of like age-wise, who's older than who's older than who. So when you see somebody, they're older than you, you have to greet them for the most part. When you go somewhere and somebody is sitting down, you have to greet them. Hey, good morning, good afternoon, something. Before, even if you're not looking for them, before you go finding whatever you're looking for. Because if anything should happen, you come back to those people, you are in trouble. They'll really deal with you mercilessly. So you want to avoid that. So just try your best and be nice and greet people when you encounter them. Don't pass them by for something to go wrong, and then now you're forced to have to come back to them. There are a lot of times I've done that, and out of shame, I've walked away. And the reason I was there, I never accomplished it. You don't want to fall victim to that. Because look, the thing is that for a lot of the Ghanaian aunties, I've called them aunties, when you pass by the older ones, with the older women, when you pass by them, and you don't say hello to them, and for whatever reason, God miraculously makes you come back. The way they watch you, you can't even go back and ask them anything. Because once you pass, they're looking at you. This guy. Okay. He will come back. And then they see you coming. Then they change their face and put their face somewhere. If they turn and watch your face, you can't even ask them anything. So you want to avoid that. You want to make sure you avoid that. That's not something you want to do. So greet people is a must. Greet people when you encounter them, when you're in Ghana, to make your stay in Ghana a lot lively. Okay, and once you do it, after some time, you become used to it. Because for a lot of us from outside, maybe we're not used to that type of thing. Okay, and every state is different. And where we are, people greet people, people say hello to people a lot. The other places we've been to, people don't say hello to people. But in Ghana, greeting is very key. It's a sign of respect to the elderly. So when you encounter people, at least try your best and then greet them. Now, here's another advice of something you should do when you're in Ghana. Wherever you end up living, except that it's maybe an Airbnb, you'll be getting out in 2 weeks or 1 week, that you don't have to bother. But if you're living there in Ghana, you have to do everything within your power to know your neighbors. 1, 2, 3. I'm telling you, you have to know your neighbors, because again, Ghana, is more of a community. It's a societal living.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody kind of knows somebody, that type of thing. So when you're in a neighborhood, you don't want to be isolated because, in fact, everybody will be talking about you. That you see that American
they don't
girl.
Speak, they don't say hello.
Exactly. They don't say anything to anybody. They even begin to suspect you. Not that they begin to suspect you that what could you be doing that as for you, you don't want to associate with anybody because they know that the society we are in is a friendly, and I mean in America is more of hostile type of life. So when a black man moves into a community, they don't want to necessarily be in other people's business, yes. But in Africa, because it's a family unit and everybody is kind of close and friendly for the most part. Mm-hmm. When you go into a place, you move into a place and you don't try to know anybody, people become suspicious. Now, the most important reason why you should actually try to know your neighbors is that now in Ghana, the issue of policing is a very different story. Now in America, I know what you call 911. Oh. 911, this is a very serious issue. 911 is a very serious dial that they don't take lightly at all, and that's why they'll be using against black people. But when you call 911, I believe in America it's very effective, and maybe and I'm sure in Europe and other parts it's very effective. When you call 911, they're very quick to get there. Mm-hmm. But the reality is that in as much as you have less of reasons for 911 to be called in Ghana, when it becomes necessary for you to call 911, when you call 911, it will become like these American movies where everything happens, the situation happens, everything, and then once everything is done, then you hear the sirens.
Like now you show up.
You make it to the scene. It's the same. Now, if you're not friendly with your neighbors, nobody comes to your rescue for the most part because nobody will even know what's going on with you because they're not sure what you're about. And that's why it's important to get to know your neighbors. So that if there's anything, if Ghana, if somebody like here in America, if your next door neighbor, you've not seen them for 2 weeks, most people are not even bothered. What could be going on with this person?
They might be out of town. I'll check on them like in a week if I still haven't seen them. And but Ghanaians, that would never happen.
Ghanaians are very nosy. Like if we've not seen a person one day, look, we want to find out. Somebody will begin talking to somebody. Hey, I've not seen Auntie Ajua yesterday. Did you check in? Somebody will come to your place and check. So if you're doing something even illegal, you don't want anybody to know. They'll come to find out. Okay? So you want to make sure that to avoid such instances where you actually need some type of help, where you need to call 911 or anything like that, and there'll be nobody there because you're isolated. So make sure when you're living in Ghana, you know your neighbors. It's important. There'll be that one neighbor that also doesn't want to befriend anybody. Very hostile. That's fine. You can leave them. But don't use them to justify why you don't make other friends with other neighbors. Try and find reasonable neighbors that are around you and get to know them. Because there may be some neighbors that are just, I've had neighbors like that who are just not friendly for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. So you can avoid them, find neighbors that are friendly, and then befriend them. I'm telling you to come in handy. So make sure you do that. Now, the next thing that I'll talk about in terms of do's has to do with learning some local language. We've talked about this in a number of different ways. But as a do, for anybody who intends to live in Ghana, look, if you don't want to live in Ghana, that's fine. If you want to just visit and go back, that's also fine. But once you intend to live in Ghana, I'm telling you, learning one or two things will come in handy because once people begin to get used to you, that you've been hovering around, you don't show any sign of being able to say a thing or two, it kind of, it's a little troubling. I feel like it's a little troubling. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's a little troubling for even you yourself.
There are some people who I've heard have lived in Ghana for 20 plus years and they've been trying to learn the language. But most of them are just not committed, to doing it. And so you have to make a, commitment to say, this is something I'm interested in. I want to at least pick up a few words that can help me in my journey. And it will. People really, really, really appreciate when you can say a few words. It makes them feel happy. It makes them feel good that you took the time to learn something. And it also, if you're trying to, if you're at the market and you're trying to negotiate and you know how to negotiate in one of the local languages and you know how to say a few words, it helps because sometimes it throws people off and they won't always try to charge you a high price because they think that you are from, not from there. And so it's worked definitely for me being able to know some of the words to help me negotiate when I'm shopping. So
yes, so that's very, very true. There's somebody at the door. You want to check? Yeah. So just as curious for a second, there's somebody pressing the doorbell. We want to make sure that it's not somebody who needs to come in. So yes, it's very important for you, to be able to learn some type of local language. It comes in handy, and it makes a closeness to people. You're closeness to people. People just want to see you making the effort, and they get super excited about you and your effort to learn a thing or two. I'm telling you, and it's easy to learn because think about it. When in a place where everybody speaks a particular kind of language, what I do normally is to play around with the language. When I go to a new place in Ghana, I play around with the language. I find kids. I ask them stuff. Hey, how do you say? Because people speak English in Ghana very well. So you ask your child, hey, how do you say, how are you? Then they'll tell you, oh, it's a sign. They'll be excited to teach you. So that's how you learn. You practice on these kids. You practice on them. You practice with them every time. And then now you begin to exhibit it with other people as you encounter them. And don't take it lightly. You do one, you do two, you do three. By the time you realize you're quite okay, with the local language. So please try and then at least perfect your craft if you haven't started at all. One of the good things my wife did is that right from the beginning, when we went to Ghana, she started learning the local language. In fact, I got her a teacher. She started learning. Whenever she's in America, she's still learning. She still has a tree teacher. She still has the books. She's still learning the tree. It's important, not because she's married to a Ghanaian. She did that, in fact, before she got married to a Ghanaian.
Before I can travel.
In fact, okay, so from the horses on mouth, she's joining us. Before she even traveled, apparently, she's begun taking steps to at least know a thing or two. All right, she's
before
back.
Before I even arrived, I thought that it would be really great for me to immerse myself and know a few words, and that it would help me, make native friends. And so I started learning maybe about 2 or 3 months before my trip, and then when I got there, you were able to get me a teacher.
Sure. So that could come in handy. So try and then learn something. Some of us just don't want to immerse ourselves in a culture. We just want to be on our own. No, you can't do that. Like, it's an advantage. All you know is English. Like, learn a thing or two of the local language. If you're in East Africa, at least some Swahili will do. But once you're in Ghana, you should learn the tree. I'm a Ghan, but my wife is not even learning my language, which is quite problematic.
Eventually, I will.
We'll resolve that. She has to learn my language. But tree is a widely spoken language in Ghana. So, in that respect, so she has to at least learn that one. But then, eventually she has to learn my language, which is the Ghan, okay, which is in the capital. So, yes. So let's look at some don'ts in Ghana. Things you should not do when you're living in Ghana or when you get to Ghana before you build momentum and get to know the ins and outs. The first thing is the use of the left hand. I'm sure you may have heard this before. Ghanaians don't take lightly the use of the left hand because we use our left hand to do so many things that we consider quite unpleasant in that respect. So when you hand something over to somebody with your left hand,
do not use,
especially elderly people, they consider that disrespectful. They say you're disrespecting them for doing that. So you want to be very careful how you utilize your left hand. If you shake people,
most people don't even wave with the left hand. You just tuck it and put it away.
Your left hand is invisible.
Basically.
Your left hand is invisible. So have that in mind. Whenever you're in Ghana, your left hand is invisible. I got very bad in America because I started waving with my left hand and doing all of those things and I didn't feel anything. But I'm like, no, this is not my culture. In Ghana, look, you cannot use your left hand anyhow. So I'm always very vigilant and cautious that I don't confuse the two based on where I am, whether I'm here or I'm there. So you want to be careful with the use of your left hand. People don't take it kindly at all. Sometimes you do it unaware and people take note of it and they keep it at the back of their mind that this guy could be very, very troublesome, or that lady could be very disrespectful. She could be very proud for her to want to give me something with her left hand, to wave at me with her left hand. People take it very kind of, depending on whether waving, depending on how you do it. Maybe it could be impromptu and then you just wave. Yes. But usually the left hand is very critical in how we use it. So you want to be very careful. Don't just go about throwing your left hand.
And if you, for some reason, you know, subconsciously, for those, of course, who never experienced that, you may do that. You may forget and eat with your left hand, or wave somebody, or hand money over because it's the closest hand to the person. So if you do that, just quickly apologize and, you know, keep it moving, but don't, you know, not say anything and leave it just like that.
Yeah, one thing you should learn in Ghana, how to say sorry, because in Ghana we say sorry a lot. In fact, in America, there are times that I say sorry to people. They didn't do anything to me, but maybe they stumbled, and I said sorry. They were surprised. They're like, why am I saying sorry to them? I didn't cause it. But in Ghana, sorry has a different connotation in terms of what the context you can use
compassion.
it. Okay, exactly.
Somebody
just showing.
Ghanaians are very compassionate. They, you know, if you're hurting or if they see that you
fell
sorry or something, it's like, oh, I'm sorry. Sorry that you hit your foot.
You didn't cause it, but yes, you do that.
But I think that's so nice.
No, it is. It is very beautiful. Of course, it's beautiful, and that's some of the things you get when you marry a Ghanaian. I mean, I'm not saying you should marry one, but yes, you know, there's some very crazy Ghanaians too. Just so you know, maybe if you've had a bad experience, there's some very bad ones, and there's some very good ones. So I pray you get a good one. Okay, so saying sorry at least is one of the good things that you can actually do. But don't forget, don't play with your left hand. We don't joke with it. We take it very personal. Okay, take it personal. And the next thing that you should not do, try your best not to do, is to expect things to be done on time. I'm not saying people should delay. People should do things, you know, late. But I'm saying that the expectation that things should be done at a certain time does not kind of work, and it can frustrate you.
Yeah, that's true.
If I remember a friend, Victor, shared some time ago about the fact that if you employ people to come and do some type of work for you, the day you pay them, they've not finished the job, but you pay them maybe for this week, you need to be able to give them some time to enjoy their money or use it to settle some things before they come back. Don't expect that they're coming back to work the next day.
Yeah.
So you just need to have, if you plan to build your thing in 1 week, give some extra time. Miscellaneous when it comes to time. Always leave that room. We're hoping for change, but until then, don't go frustrating yourself.
I think I have an interesting story about that.
Tell us.
So I remember first time I was in Ghana, and this was after the program was over. And I think we started dating, and we were supposed to.
Is this about me?
This is about you.
Really?
Yeah, you're an example in today's live. And so, you invited me out on a date to a movie, and you know, I of course was very close to where the movie theater was, and I think you were coming from. Now I realize he was coming from a place that was a lot further. But I kept calling you, and I was like, where are you? I'm here. I'm waiting. And you were like, I'm coming. And so everybody knows that when a Ghanaian says, I'm coming.
But you didn't know that.
Well, now I know that when a Ghanaian says, I'm coming, it probably means that they're nowhere near. They probably haven't even left their house yet.
So you need to do your calculation. When you say, hey, what's up? Have you left the house? Say, hey, I'm on the way. It means that they're home. They're about to take a shower or something. So time is, I mean, it's not the best, but at least you want to leave some room for things.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people do that. African Americans also do that. I mean, they don't go to the party early. They have to hoover around, you know, because they know nobody's going to come early.
It's a universal thing for Black people.
With Ghana. But Ghana, I think because it's the motherland, they take things to the next level. So when it comes to time, it doesn't matter if you're the ambassador or you're whatever. You have to leave some room, because if you don't leave some room, you're in for a ride. So it's important for you not to expect that people will be on time. Don't have that expectation. You could be disappointed. Okay?
Yeah. So
People
don't
have
set appointments back to back to back and think that you're just gonna go down the day. I'm gonna have my appointment at 1 and 2 and 3. I mean, somebody throughout the day is gonna be late because of somebody that's also, late. So
Yes.
just leave room.
So don't get us wrong. We're not promoting lateness, but we're only cautioning you that is one of the things that you have to at least look forward to. I know some people in Ghana who do things on time. They start at 7 they start, 10 they close, for sure.
Yeah.
People do that. But overall, you want to be careful based on which side of the aisle you are. You cannot expect things to be done on time. So whether you've given a job to somebody or whether it's an event you've put together, whether it is whatever it is.
Yeah, because once it's out of your control, there's other people who are involved. So yes, maybe you can start on time, but there may be somebody that you need that can maybe delay it. So
yes. So another thing you should not do, okay? Another thing you should not do is to pay people. Don't pay people the first price that they quote you in Ghana. Don't make that mistake. If somebody, if for whatever reason somebody's about to do some work, you take a taxi or you go to the marketplace, wherever it is, and you want to buy something, and the first price they give you, that hey, it's $10, it's 20 cedis. Don't you ever make a mistake to pay $5 or $10. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, that would be me supporting the person. Yes, they're not thinking about the support piece. They're thinking about a culture of you definitely asking for a reduction. So the first price they're going to mention to you is plus your reduction.
Yes.
So don't make a mistake to want to. Yes, we'll save this. We'll save this video for sure. It will be on Instagram, to be on our YouTube, Certified African, on Facebook too. So yeah, so don't make a mistake and pay somebody because they said they'll charge you 5 cedis. You think 5 cedis is cheap and you pay them. Yes, you can do that. But the reality is that they've always put a top up so you can reduce it. It's normal in Ghana. Whatever it is that you're buying, whatever work that you're asking somebody, hey, can you fix my roof for me? How much will it cost? They'll do some calculations in their heads because I think it's then they'll mention a figure. That figure, they've added what you're about to reduce it because they know very well that you're going to ask for a reduction. So don't be the one who will not ask for a reduction. So always remember to ask for a reduction. But if you're somebody who likes taking public transportation, don't make a mistake and ask for a reduction.
Non-negotiable.
Because you provoke some conductor. Don't make a mistake to ask for a reduction when it comes to public transportation. Okay, so
there
public
are some things.
is flat fee. There are some things which are flat fee, just so you know, as a caveat.
And that's why it's good. That's why it's good to have a native friend, because you don't just go around just asking for reductions, and the person tells you, oh, no reduction. You like, oh, but no, really. So it's best to ask them before, okay, is this a situation where I can ask for a reduction? And they're either going to tell you yes or no, and it won't always be the case that you can ask for one. It's
in Ghana. You can see a driver, like a taxi driver, standing with somebody like myself, having a long conversation, like 20 minutes, and you're wondering what we're chatting about. Mm-hmm. We are negotiating the fare to where I'm going. And for 20 minutes, we've not come to an agreement because he starts from somewhere. I talk. I'm like, no, this is too much. I mean, from here, just here. So to just reduce it, then he'll bring it down. He says, look, boss, like it's a good price. You can check out that it's a good price. Just you give me this, and then I'll be like, oh, boss, look, last week I took the same thing to this place. They didn't even charge me that. Why do you want me to pay this amount? Then he'll say, oh, like, why are you trying to do that? Like, no, this is a good price. So what will you offer? What would you offer? And I'll tell him, no, he has to tell me. I shouldn't have to tell him. He should please reduce it. Then he reduces some more. Then I'll be like, oh, yeah, okay, that's fine. So I'll give him this. Then when I mention mine, now he'll come and disagree. So now we need to do another back and forth to add a little top up. So that's how you see two people standing there, going back and forth for like 30 minutes. You're wondering what they're talking about. They're just negotiating for the price. Because the first price you're given is never the ultimate.
And I was going to say, oftentimes that's why people just decide at this point to take Uber, because they don't want to have to negotiate the price. They don't want to spend 20, they're in a rush. So they just say, okay, I'll just take that, so I don't have to worry about that piece of.
But here's the thing: is quite interesting. In Ghana, the Ubers operate like taxis.
Mm-hmm.
So Uber drivers actually negotiate these days in Ghana. I don't know how they work with the Uber app, but you find an Uber driver.
It's actually cash, so you don't.
And at the end of the day, they're still negotiating with the person that they've actually taken. So that's, I mean, we're just negotiation people all together. But there are some things, of course, you cannot negotiate. You cannot negotiate. But for the most part, like we're saying, don't pay the first price that you're given when it comes to Ghana.
I mean, and I think that the safest thing to do would be, actually, no, I won't say that. It depends.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'll just leave that.
So you just make sure, if you have abundance of money, yes, that's no problem. You can always donate some. You can always give some. But for the most part, make sure you bargain. Okay. Now, this one is quite annoying for Ghanaians. This next one is very annoying to Ghanaians. People making reference to where they're coming from. Now, I remember my senior brother, okay, he came back from the US some years ago. And we went out to town, and Ghanaians don't like this at all. We went out to town. He's been out of the country for a very long time, and he's come back. We go to buy something, and he asked for the price of the thing. And the woman told him that, oh, this thing is like $20. Then my brother started, why is this $20? In Walmart, you can buy this for $5. Ghanaians dislike that. You making references to how things are, where you're coming from, especially when it comes to you buying things. Not just you buying things, a lot of different things. That in London, you can't do that.
I think I'm guilty of that. I think my first time I'm guilty. Yeah, I have to share my story. So I went to KFC in Ghana, which is very different from KFC in the US. So for one, a lot of the sides are different. So they have jollof rice, and they have, I think, wache as well.
I don't know wache,
but they have jollof rice as one of the sides. And they don't have any of these. They don't have biscuits, and they don't have potato wedges and all of these different things. And one of the biggest things that they don't have is the sauces that we have in the KFC in the States. And so the only sauces that they had at this KFC was ketchup and I think mayonnaise. And so I was like, oh, do you have any sauces that I can use to put on my chicken? And she was like, no. And I was like, well, in the KFC in the US, they have all of the options, barbecue, all of this. They have all of these options. She was like, well, we don't have it here. And so
yeah, we take it very personal.
I could tell that she really was not feeling the fact that I had made reference to how things were.
So please don't do that. Don't do that. When you're dealing with people, deal with them there. Don't try to make comparisons to, in New York, in New York, you can't do that. No, you can't try. Don't try that mess. Now, this thing it costs too much. I mean, in Germany, you can buy this for that amount. They dislike that. Ghanaians dislike that. Don't ever try that with any Ghanaian. That you make reference to how you think something should be from based on where you're coming from. Doesn't matter which country.
I mean,
please don't do that.
I think if you're thinking about moving and you're planning to relocate, your best bet in making your journey a lot easier is to just stop the comparisons altogether. It will make your life a lot easier. Because the thing is, Ghana is going to be extremely different from what you know. And if you are always comparing and talking about, things are so this, things are so, inefficient, or here, it would never, and back at home, it would never be like this. If you do that, you're going to frustrate yourself, and you're going to make your time in Ghana a lot worse than than how it can be. It could be beautiful, but if you're always constantly nitpicking, you're going to make it, an uncomfortable experience. So just throw everything that you know out of the window and roll with the flow. Be open.
Exactly. Deal with the situation as they come. Don't try to create.
Try to be understanding.
If this was New York, if this was Germany, no, this is not Germany. This is not New York.
And I think
so be careful.
Did we say something about? I think on that same point, we kind of touched on it, but it fits here too. You know, in the US, we're so used to things being quick, things being fast, us getting our food on time. Don't ever expect for you to get your food like lightning fast in Ghana. Just throw that out of the window because you're going to order your food. They're going to prepare it. They're going to make it with love, and they're going to bring it to you. And it could take at least an hour and a half to 2 hours before you get your food. And sometimes you may order something. They may take your order. They may come back an hour later and say, "Oh, that's not in the kitchen." And it's like, what happened this whole time? Like an hour ago, you could have told me that y'all didn't have this in the kitchen. Like, but you know, you just have to understand that that is how the culture is. And if you get upset, like I said, that is going to make your time a lot tough.
And let me tell you this, let me make your life a lot easier. Don't try to tell somebody in an official capacity that you know you're right in Ghana. That's disastrous.
Right.
We know you have rights, but don't you ever try, like a policeman stops you and then you be like, I know my rights. Or you go to an office, you want something done and they are not doing it, and then
this is how this is supposed to work.
Your best out.
Or what is it? I'll tell my who's your boss or who's your supervisor.
That type of thing. I've seen that a lot in America. In America, people are quick to ask for your supervisor. Don't try that in Africa. Who's your supervisor? Who's your boss? I mean, I have rights. I'm the buyer and all of that. No, don't do that. Yes, we know buyers have rights, but don't try that in Africa. That I know my rights type of thing. You're not entitled to anything. Okay? It's good that people respond to you, but it does not mean you go about. And here's the thing: for people in official capacity, maybe you need, like in Ghana, you need a license, you need some document. A bank is a bank. You're having a transaction or anything. They're going to keep you there for a very long time if you go with that attitude.
I have to tell a story. I don't know. I think my husband, he pissed a lady off at the bank, and he didn't remember that he had ticked her off. So I think we go to the bank to make some sort of transaction.
Oh, and my goodness.
Asking, and we were sitting there. And all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute. Is this the lady that you came in contact the last time that you were telling me you were having so many problems and she got upset and you got upset? And you were like, yeah, she is. And at that moment, we just got up and left because we knew nothing was going to be done that day.
So look, let me say this. Let me do this to myself.
Oh my goodness.
I foolishly, one time when in Ghana, I foolishly tried the I know my rights thing in the bank with this lady. And this lady got upset, like I pissed her off by doing that. This woman took my passport to go copy or whatever. And we were sitting down. She wasn't bringing my passport because I had pissed her off and tried to act like I knew I had rights and I knew my rights and all of that. At the end of the day, I told one other guy to bring my passport.
Hey, he's like, hey, can you go back there and get my passport for me?
I said, look, I'm not playing with you. Please bring my passport. The guy brought my passport. We peacefully walked out of the bank.
We got up. I was like, I'm getting up. Because nothing's happening today. Like, this lady's not going to service us at all.
Look, don't this I know my right, and I'm telling you, don't try it in Ghana. Don't waste your time. There's a lady, I've shared this story, who was trying to board a flight in the airport. And she had to pay some money. They said she had excess something or whatever. She was supposed to pay some money. And she felt like she wasn't supposed to pay because there was no official anything. So she, after giving them a tough time, she eventually gave them the money. And she was waiting for receipt. She sat there at the airport. Receipt wasn't coming. She started screaming, yelling. They said, Madam, take your time, we're coming. Madam, take your time. She sat there until the flight was the gift signal that they're closing the gate.
Waiting for this receipt.
And she sacrificed her receipt and left to wherever she was coming from. So I suggest to you, if you want to be in Ghana peacefully, just humble yourself.
Yeah.
And be nice to the people you're dealing with. Be nice to them and let them serve you. Otherwise, when you try to prove any points, like you have right, like it's part of their rules. They have to serve you and all. No, it doesn't work. So please don't try that. Don't try that. Somebody says something. I don't want the comments to go quickly. So remember to leave your old life attitude behind. Don't take your your lifestyle from the US to a new country. That's very true. Please don't do that. That's a disaster. So another don't. This one is quite interesting. A lot of us diasporans may not encounter this too much, but you could, just in case. Now, never, if anytime you go and buy a gadget, an electronic gadget like a phone, some type of machine, whatever it is from Ghana, apart from it being in a very organized shop, you see, if you've ever been to Ghana, people sell everywhere. When you buy such gadgets, please, I beg you in the name of God, open that gadget. If it is a phone and it's packaged, tell them you want to see what is inside. Whatever it is, tell them you want to see what's inside, because the reality is that too many people have bought things that it wasn't what was in the box. I mean, I know a lot of friends who have bought phones. Once they took the phones home and they opened the box, it was a soap. A bar soap.
Oh,
and
no.
There are instances that, I'm telling you, people have bought very serious things. They've taken it home. Once you break everything apart, you see something totally different. And when you go back to where you bought it from, it doesn't exist. The person is no longer there. So please, don't be deceived to see something shiny. They can show you the actual thing. Like, hey, this is it.
And then they say, oh, I'm going to go box it in the bag.
They're packaging it. Or better still, they're going to put it in a bag and then give it to you. Please don't make that mistake. Because you take the thing home, you open it, and it's a complete different thing from what is in the box. So you don't want to do that. Whenever you buy anything which is an electronic gadget, make sure you see what is in the box or what you're buying, what they've packaged for you. Don't take it and then go and discover what is in it at home. You'll be disappointed. So don't make that mistake. Okay, don't make that mistake. And the other thing that I'll say in terms of don't you ever do that. Don't buy land or anything on the streets. On the streets, referring to some type of connection. In Ghana, we call it connection. So if something is connection, I don't know how to explain it in American terms or English and for you to understand. Like something that is like behind the scenes or backdoor arrangement or under the table type of arrangement. Don't buy anything with that type of arrangement under the table. Like we don't want to make it quick. Like you said, let's fix this, backdoor, and then no, you will be disappointed. Don't you make that mistake. You're best going through the right process than you sacrificing to go through the supposed under the table thing. It doesn't mean that there are things you can, like in Ghana, of course, there are things that you just somehow pay your way out. Let me be very blunt.
Yeah, those are different.
You can pay your way out. That's different. Otherwise, the waste of time. That they just give something little and then you go. That's not what I'm referring to. Like, for instance, you meet somebody and they tell you, hey, look, I know this guy. Look, they're selling a quick land. Like if you're ready to buy this land, like it's in this good place. Like you can quickly buy it, quickly give it the documents. Don't buy such things. Don't do such. Don't make such mistakes. Or they're offering something and it's some quick something. We can make some arrangements and we don't have to go through all the processes. Don't buy such things for your own good. Don't make that mistake because you'll be deceived into buying something that eventually is going to be a liability for you. When you ask a lot of people who have bought lands, especially in Ghana, who have been disappointed, they'll tell you that most of those lands are backdoor stuff. They're not straightforward. So you want to make sure that you're dealing with legitimate channels. If the legitimate channels require you doing some, compensations here and there to get you faster, that's different. That's good. But once you know very well it's a backdoor thing, I'm telling you, you will be disappointed. So don't go to Ghana trying to get fast stuff. Try to sweep things under the table. That's not a good thing. It's going to get you into a lot of trouble. In other words, you lose a lot of money and things in Ghana. So that's something you should not do. Then the final, do not do in Ghana. Pay attention to this one very carefully. I'm telling you, pay attention to this one very carefully. And don't make a mistake. Do not expect, never in your life in Ghana, expect a car, in other words, a vehicle, to give you way or to stop for you.
Yes, you don't own the roads. They don't yield to pedestrians. Pedestrians do not have the right of way.
Please, don't make a mistake. You see, in America and other parts of the world, you have this thing we call in Africa, we call it zebra crossing, where the road is painted white, black, or something. There's a white stripes, like the zebra stripes, pedestrian walkway, as you guys call it in America and other parts of the world, where if a pedestrian is passing, the cars sometimes have to stop. Okay, okay, we're back. All right. Where pedestrians have to stop. Don't you ever make a mistake and forget that you're in Ghana and want to cross and expect a car to stop for you.
Because you've taken a step.
Don't make a mistake.
You will take a step and lose your life that same day.
Cars don't wait for people. People wait for cars in Africa. So if you ever go to Ghana and you're walking majestically anywhere and expecting a car to give you way, the speed at which the driver will pass and insult you at the same time. I remember one time a car had parked, one trotro, the public transport had parked, and I was trying to cross the road. So the guy wasn't watching where I was. So I was right in front of him. So once he turned his head to move, I kind of was right in front of the car. The guy got down from the car. Everybody, all the passengers were in the car. He started calling me devil. So you're a demon. You want to put me in trouble. People don't joke with things like that. Drivers don't joke with things like that. So don't come together and expect cars to make way for you. No, you have to make way for cars. In America, people respect cars a lot. You see people walking anyhow and crossing the road. Don't try that rubbish or excuse my language, rubbish in Africa or in Ghana. No, you have to let a car go and then you can now pass. Don't try that. If you're crossing the road, somebody says, well, it's a zebra crossing. They will ask you, are you a zebra? Because that's how we call it in Africa. We call it in Ghana zebra crossing. If you're a zebra, then you can cross majestically. So don't try that mess. If you go to Ghana, respect yourself. When you see a car coming, let them go with their trouble and then you can cross. Don't try to walk majestically across the road. The speed at which they'll come. Yeah,
they rather instead of slowing down, will increase their speed because to let you know that I'm not stopping.
You're stubborn. For you to see them and still want to cross, you're stubborn. You want to see something, so they'll definitely come at you. So please, don't forget these things that we've shared with you. They come in handy when you're in Ghana. There are a lot more things that you should look out for. Of course, but these are a few that we thought we'll share today for people who are intending to come to Ghana and, of course, spend quite a long time in Ghana. It helps you to get through your early stages until very soon you yourself begin to learn the laws. When they do it to you one or twice, when you cross the road one or twice and they don't wait for you to pass, then you begin to learn your lessons gradually. You begin to learn your lessons gradually. As you go to buy something and you buy the wrong thing because you didn't check, the next time you be vigilant. So you begin to learn as you go along. But overall, these are some do's and don'ts that we believe that if you pay attention to them, have them at your fingertips, they can go a long way to help you during your stay in Ghana. All right. So we appreciate you all. I mean, if you loved it, you can just put a thumbs up in the comment box.
If there's any other topics that you all want us to address, that you want us to talk about, send us a message or put something down below in the chat. If you're not following or subscribe to us on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel, sign up for our mailing list, which is in the link in our bio, so that we can stay in contact with you and let you know about all the things that we're doing. And we appreciate you for tuning in and sticking with us during our session today.
If you have any question on some do's and don'ts, some area or sector and some do's and don'ts on that area, you want to put in the comments section real quick before we leave today. So again, you can support Certified Africa by going to our online store and see whatever you can find and then buy to support us. That's very important. If you subscribe to our YouTube channel, that will also be a huge blessing to us, and follow us on all our platforms. Yeah.
Also, if you are thinking about moving to Ghana, if you want to move and you know you want help with the process, you think you will need a guide, you know, you're just not sure how to move about it, we're here. Reach out to us, and we have a program that we do that can help people throughout the process as they're bridging their way from, you know, the U.S. to Ghana. So reach out to us about that if you're planning to move.
There are a few comments here. Let me look at them. He said, "It's a great advice. Humble yourself." He said, "It's not only in Africa. My brother-in-law bought a laptop here in Alabama and went home to find out that the box was filled with newspapers."
Oh.
Yeah, so that's why you need to open your eyes and watch before you actually take it home. That's rather unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that. This one said, yes, because that land may belong to someone else. Exactly. Why you don't buy land, you know, just anywhere or on some backdoor thing is very important. Hey, Kumasi Tours is here. Ben, my good friend Ben. Good to have you here, Ben. Let's talk. Let's talk behind the scenes. All right. Somebody says, it says laugh out loud. Yes. Get run over real quick. That's what will happen to you if you are not vigilant. Somebody says, I love watching your videos because it keeps moving. It keeps moving to Ghana on my mind. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's very. I mean, Ghana is a beautiful place. Please do go if you have to. Driving is on the right side. Yes, please. Driving is on the right. No, it's on the left. Where do you drive here?
Same side.
Where?
On the
left.
On the
okay,
left.
So driving is on the left, not on the right. In the UK, driving is on the right. But Ghana, the only thing we don't have in common with the UK.
Yeah, that was the one thing they didn't take from the British.
Yeah, so we drive on the left. I got confused for a second. Somebody said, thanks. We appreciate you all. Thank you for the thumbs up. Somebody said, I'm curious about what? Internet stability and services. Yes. Internet stability. I mean, it's depending on where you are. Today, we have things like other broadbands like Line and other things that you can actually have.
Basically like a hotspot.
Exactly. If you're able to get a broadband to your house, like a landline to your house, that gives you a good internet connection. But otherwise, it's a little tricky based on where you are. So yes, you can have internet. Normally in Ghana, we have what we call the Line. And we get it for the month, and we're able to use it for a lot of places. But it can't go to certain places. That's the only bad. When you leave the capital, it becomes very difficult to have access. But you can still have access through the phone networks in other parts of the country, okay, other parts of Ghana. So yes, internet is quite not there yet. So that's an avenue if you want to come and find a company that can bring solutions. Yes, please do. But yes, there's internet access. You can get internet access, but it's not always the best. Okay. All right. So thank you all so very much. Yes, for giving me the thumbs up. I appreciate you all. All right. So we'll come your way again, hopefully sometime very soon.
Next Friday, but
of course, next Friday is constant. But before Friday, hey, we're going to still come your way. Thank you for all the love that you guys show us by jumping on. Even if it's 1, 2, we appreciate you all. So thank you both. Yeah, thank you too so very much. God bless you all. All right. Is it a friend? Who's supposed to say adios?
Adios. No.
Adios. That's Spanish?
That's Hispanic, yes.
Oh, Spanish people say adios. Okay. We are not Spanish people. We're Africans. So in Africa, in Ghana, how would we say
bye?
Bye. We say bye-bye.
Yeah, that's mom.
we met some English with the local language. We say bye bye. Or in account we say echere. It means see you later. Echere. Or your best shebium. We'll meet again. That's what we say. And in my language, in the Ghana language, we say kefi. So later, kefi. All right. So all the best. We'll catch you. Bye bye. Is that what? Is that Ni? Do you speak Ghana? Yeah, I speak very good Ghana. I'm a Ghana, proud Ghana. My name is Ni, so yes, definitely I speak Ghana. You are Ghana, didn't you?
She's nah.
Oh, my video just ended. All right, so we appreciate you all. Thank you so much for joining. So until we come your way.